Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and this week might be the perfect time to jump back into Destiny 2 if you are a lapsed player, or check it out for the very first time if you've never done so before. And there's several reasons why I say that. First off, all of the expansions for Destiny 2 are currently free. Not only that, but if you play through them without purchasing them, you will still get to keep the rewards, all of the various titles that you can earn. You can play through the story, the dungeons, everything that you could want to check out in Destiny 2 is available for free for all players. So if you never bought the Final Shape or some of these expansions, now you can catch up. You can play through the campaigns. They're not overly long. You can probably do each campaign in about 4 to 6 hours or so. And so there's a lot of reasons to jump back in. Not only that, you can look for some of the exotics that will be dropping from the various expansions that you might not have purchased. And it just feels like a great way to get people excited for the Edge of Fate. And for me personally, I'm hopeful that a lot of people will take advantage of this. Not only is all of this free and you get to keep everything that you earn, but also it's a great way to launch the game forward into the new era of Destiny, which is what the Edge of Fate is going to provide. On top of that, we also currently have the Rite of the Nine activity, which allows you to play through some of the older dungeons, once again for free, with a lot of various weapons to earn if you want to chase them, if there's any that you really enjoy using or that you miss from back in the day. But not only that, but right now it's Lootapalooza, so there's going to be extra drops of these weapons. You're also going to be able to get some engrams, which allow you to get a ton of old cosmetics from Eververse that are available, again, earnable for free, which haven't been available in some time. You might have missed them, and there's a massive amount that are potentially earnable. Up to 20 are going to be allowed to be obtained through this event. So you could get finishers, you can get emotes, you can get any types of Eververse items that you could think of, and I think that's a great way to encourage players to check out a game that is getting ready to have some massive changes going forward. I'm going to have another video tomorrow explaining why the Edge of Fate is absolutely necessary for the future of Destiny 2, but it's also nice to look back sometimes and understand that the game at its core is very good if you haven't been playing it every single day, every single update for the last 10 years. There's so much that Destiny does that other games simply don't. It's got PvP, whether you like it or not, that's up to you, but it does have a solid amount of PvP modes and options to jump into. You've also got PvE, and probably the best endgame of any looter shooter we've ever seen, and probably will ever see anytime soon. We've got dungeons, we've got raids, we've got 3-man activities, 6-man activities. We even have a 12-man activity now, and so I think this game is a bit overhated at times with people who say that, oh, there's no reason to play it. If you've been playing every single day or every single update for the last 10 years, as I mentioned, then yes, you probably don't have a ton of reason to play. But I would argue that for new players, there's so much to do. For lapsed players, there's so much available for you to check out that I think it's absolutely worthwhile chasing some of these weapons, rewards, emotes, everything that you might want, and experiencing the storylines, the different types of content, the different pieces of the different activities. There is a lot there that, again, I think the game doesn't get credit for everything that it does right, and gets a lot of criticism for things that are ultimately not that big of a deal. And I won't argue that Destiny 2 is perfect or anything of that nature, but it is pretty jarring when I jump into other games, especially other looter shooters, and I compare the gameplay loop from those games and then check it out in comparison to what Destiny 2 does. And outside of maybe Warframe, there's really none that can boast the same amount of content to check out. Now, one thing to keep in mind, as I mentioned, the Edge of Fate is changing everything. So while some of the rewards you earn this week will be valuable for the next few months potentially, there's a lot changing that will kind of promote obtaining new gear with the Edge of Fate as well. Not only do we have new weapons that are going to have different tier levels, but we also have a new armor system, including armor bonuses for sets, which I think is something that I've long wanted in the game. And just ultimately, there's a lot that is changing. So I wouldn't recommend getting rid of everything that you have, but I also wouldn't necessarily grind chasing the perfect god rolls right now when they might be somewhat obsolete with the next update. And I do feel like it's a time to experience things you might have missed, chase exotics especially, because those will be carrying forward and will still be very, very important to build crafting. You also want to, again, experience any content that you might have missed or not paid for. That is what this week is for. I don't think it's necessarily for grinding the perfect roll. If there are weapons, if you're a collector that you might have missed over the course of time, now is also a good time to just chase as many of them as possible. Maybe you won't get the perfect roll, but they will be available in your collections to take a peek back at as we move forward into this next era. And ultimately, I do hope that people give the game a chance and don't succumb to the negativity that we see so much online. I've introduced new players, and the game can be very overwhelming for sure, but I think once you get the hang of it, it is one of those games that is far more enjoyable from the outside looking in than it is to those who are knee deep in it and really just largely focused on grinding the next piece of gear instead of just enjoying the moment in the game. And that's something that I feel like the Destiny community as a whole has lost. It's hard to get back after a game being around for this long, and I'm hopeful that the Edge of Fate will bring some of that back at the very least. But all in all, I think this week is a good opportunity to check the game out, to jump back in, maybe see if some of these updates have been positive changes for you. Maybe you haven't played in a couple years, and again, you want to see out the Light and Dark saga. It's completely free and well worth it in my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe. If you disagree, if you don't think it's a good time for people to jump back in, let me know why in the comments down below. My name is Jopa. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.